What's going on, guys? I'm Jaye the Black. Salute to everyone that's tuning in. Make sure y'all like this video. This is gonna be some extra commentary in regards to Brittany Renner. You know, I made a video, or at least two videos on their breakup. The first one I did on my Basic Social Politics channel. It was all still a bit of a rumor. No one 100% knew if they broke up. But then you had PJ Washington come out and put out something, right? And it just blew up to the point to where they've pretty much fully separated. She's a single mom now, Brittany Renner. And she has been replying to people who were saying that she was grooming PJ Washington. They were making fun of her for dating a 21, 22-year-old, having a kid by him when she's 29. She's about 30. And she's deflecting, you know, trying to turn it back on other people because people are basically putting this in front of her face. The optics of this situation is bad for Brittany Renner, but she chooses to deflect and go at people for merely reacting to what she has done. This is a female who's 29, dating a 22-year-old, having a child with a 22-year-old who's barely out of college. And you don't think that people are going to look at that weird? Also, before then, she wrote a book about all of her escapades with athletes and entertainers. And then she did one of those Instagram videos where she basically at the end of it talked about how dumb these athletes are and how women play them, just for her to have a baby by one, and not only have a baby by an NBA player in PJ Washington, but to break up with him a few months after having the child. Brittany Renner has to understand that you put yourself in that situation. And people, and let me just say this about the grooming thing. He's an adult. She's an adult. Okay? They got together. That's fine. But when you're at Kentucky games, and then a little bit later you're dating PJ Washington, people are going to put two and two together. That when this guy was in college, you may have been low-key dating this guy. Because let me tell you something. You won't know who these women are dating until they put it out there. Like, you will see a female who go from being single, right? She ain't attached to nobody. Then bam, she's in this relationship. I've seen it a couple different times. There's a couple different women who are quote unquote influencers, right? They were single. They weren't attached to anybody. But then out of the blue, they're going Instagram official. Because they were testing the waters to see how these guys felt about them and if those guys really were serious about dating them. Right? And that's the same with Brittany Renner. She had this dude wrapped around her finger. You know, she's very much so more experienced in the world, I think, than he is. And she took advantage of that. And for her to act like she don't understand why people will look at the optics of her being at Kentucky games, dating him who was previously at the University of Kentucky, then obviously she is once again in deflection mode. She had a kid with this guy on purpose. I don't know if they both planned it. Again, she had this guy wrapped around her finger. It seemed like it would not surprise me at all if it was her idea. This is why I tell you guys, you know, be careful. If you are a guy with money and resources, you're going to have women who have ulterior motives. Now, she'll say that she's not doing it for the money, but we don't know that now. But let's say your financial situation changed, Brittany. You're not going to go out there for money. Let's say he gets a bigger contract, right? You mean to tell me that if he gets a max deal, you're not going to be in his pockets, especially if he's dating another woman and he commits to that woman? I mean, that's nothing drives these single mothers up a wall more than when a guy commits to another woman and not them. When I mean commit, I'm talking about they're living together. He done proposed to her, because I've seen it. These women will go from I don't want child support to you don't see your kids, you don't take care of your kids. That's why PJ Washington put it out there that he loves his son, because he did not want her to use the perception of him not being there against him. This female just had a child a few months ago. Her and him were supposedly in this strong relationship. Now all of a sudden she's back I guess hosting parties of the adult variety, right? She's back out there in these streets, right? Because you would think that she was trying to clean up her image. We all know she wrote the book. She was in this quote unquote serious relationship, but now she's back to doing what she does. And I do think that in a way this might have been something she wanted. Y'all gotta understand something about these westernized women. These westernized women are obsessed with being worshipped, especially as single mothers, because they see the praise that these single mothers get when their sons go to the NBA or the NFL, right? When their sons are successful, they get praised as being a strong woman who worked hard and didn't need a man. There are a lot of women who want that label, unfortunately. And I believe that might have been one of the things about Brittany Renner, because again, you know better. Why would you now all of a sudden want a child with a guy who's in his early 20s? A lot of women complain that younger men don't know their way around the world. They ain't got themselves together. But y'all still having children with these guys. Why is it? It's because he was an NBA player. He was working a 9 to 5. You wouldn't have thought twice about having a kid with them. It reminds me of Iggy Azalea. Iggy Azalea is out here. She's about 7 years older than Playboy Cardi, or close to it, 6 years older. She had a kid with him right around the time she's turning 30, or in her early 30s. And this guy ain't ready to be no family man. But in your mind, you think he's ready to be a family man. It's like, this has to be something that you wanted. Now, again, she's may seem like she's not looking for support financially, but times change, man. Times change. And again, he signs a max deal. He gets him another woman. That changes things drastically, because then you're going to start seeing her talking about he don't see his kid. He don't take care of him. We've seen this song and dance before. They all start off talking about they don't want no child support. Then they go get child support. Now she's really back in the streets where she belongs. You cannot be wifing up women who don't want to be wifed up. And this is no slight to her. She probably would agree with me that she's just not built for marriage. She's not built for long-term relationships. She's built for short-term relationships, maybe a little bit non-monogamous. Maybe polygamy is something in her future. I just think that there are certain women that's just not their life. Their life is not long-term relationships that are monogamous. That's not in their cards. And I don't think that was for her. That relationship fell apart quickly after she had that child. What does that tell you? That tells you that neither he nor she really saw this thing through. You have to see things from 5 years from now when you're having a child, instead of being in the moment. Because what happens when that child comes into the world? There was a video clip that I saw, right, of PJ Washington playing video games, right? I think he was streaming too. And she came over, I believe, with the baby. And I think she put the baby in his lap or something like that. And you can tell he was annoyed. He was annoyed by that because he's not ready for that. That's why You need to be careful of impregnating women when you don't have the patience or you're not ready to be a dad, because you're going to end up trying to play family with somebody that you don't want to be with and that really don't even want to play family either. So you have to be conscientious of the type of people you get with. People are so lustful. They think it's love, but it's lust. It's not love. What it is lust. You're lusting for each other. He may have always wanted to be with her. He got the opportunity to do so. And now he's a dad. That's his baby's mother. His baby's mother is Brittany Renner, who wrote a book about all these guys that she slept with in the industry.